Hey everybody, it's Scott here with Under the Glow. Today I'm going to be working on a squat void salvager. He's going to have this cool little domed helmet and high-tech backpack. This is going to be for a brand new gang, some sort of ship salvagers, maybe some guys who are working with the Mechanicus, maybe they're freelancers, I'm not quite sure yet. Here his helmet is almost done, but we're going to add these little antennae. I think they produce something like a heads-up display for him, um, and it looks cool. That's the main reason. Always go with what looks cool. Here I'm just using some green stuff to fill in the bottom of that helmet where there's a small gap, and this will also give me something to stick that antenna to so that it adheres better. And here's our guy with his finished helmet. He's looking pretty cool, so I'm going to start working on the backpack. Now this backpack, I could just go with the straight up backpack, but I wanted to switch it up a little bit. So I'm using this faceplate from an Armiger Knight, and I'm going to mix that with parts of the backpack. I did try a few other pieces, like these little dwarf canisters with gauges on them, and they didn't quite work out, so I scrapped that and went straight to the backpack. Now this backpack is not that complicated of a build, but this top portion of the backpack that I'm using needs to fit in kind of a tight space between the helmet and the portion that I've already glued to the guy's back. So it took several attempts of shaving and carving until it would fit just about right. And in the end, I actually need to push the back part down just slightly and a little bit of green stuff, and it will fit just right. So here's our guy so far with his helmet and his backpack. Now that the main portion of the build is done, I'm going to work on his arms, which is going to be a mixture of mechanical bits and Adeptus Mechanicus glove slash power fist. This arm that I have here, I've been wanting to use for a long time and never really quite had the right model, and I think this is a good fit. The next piece I'm going to add here is just a little lens to the top of his backpack. One thing the Mechanicus figures have quite a bit of is small lenses and maybe cameras attached to their equipment, so I thought that would be a good addition for this salvager. The final component for this model is going to be his other arm. I was thinking he should have some sort of weapon. He shouldn't go into a wreck or a salvage operation completely unarmed, not knowing what you might find on an abandoned spaceship or Space Hulk. For this model, I wanted to give him some kind of heavier weapon. I wasn't quite sure what it would be in game. When I'm making models without a particular game in mind, I tend not to think about exactly what the weapon is. So I just wanted to make something kind of cool and maybe a little bit of a bigger gun because he has this whole exosuit that he's wearing. So I started with something kind of like a minigun, but then I added this sort of web slash flamer front to it. It's the front of a Weber, but it could be a flame weapon, I think. It could always be whatever you want. You just make it up. It's a game. I'll be finishing up this model with filling gaps with green stuff. As usual, this model has quite a few gaps to fill, especially around the backpack. I wanted it to mesh seamlessly with his suit so that it feels like a one-piece spacesuit kind of deal. And I think it did a pretty good job. Everything blends pretty well together. Outside of that, there's just a little bit of detailing. I added a couple of grenades to his belt, which everyone always wants grenades, especially in space. That makes things super dangerous, so why not have them? And here we are. We have our finished Void Salvager. He even has a bit of Mechanicus symbols on his arm. Semi-official, maybe? We'll see. We'll find out what buddies join his little crew as we move on. I hope you'll join me next time, and I hope you liked this build. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.